Okay, so boom, we don't need no introduction. We already did that back in episode 1. So today we are in day 3, episode 3 of the 10 days of Dahmer. So let's get straight into it with no further ado. Boom, episode 3 starts, right? And somebody's pregnant. Somebody's obviously going through a mental break because they're outside in the snow, no shoes, no jacket, and they're pregnant. So a man, pulls up and he sees this person that's pregnant, and so then we learn that this person is on an antipsychotic medicine. We learn that this person is on over 26 different antipsychs. That gotta do something to the mind. Come on now. So we learned that this person is Jeffrey's mother when she was pregnant with Jeffrey. This was way back in 1959. So this was over 20 years ago, before he even started with anything. So then we go into the next scene. The next scene gave me the creeps. It made my skin crawl, like literally. So Jeffrey and his dad, they went fishing, right? So, okay, Jeffrey's dad is trying to teach him how to put a worm on the hook. Okay. So he told Jeffrey, he's like, okay, imagine it being a girl worm, and you just stick it in. Like, the way he said it is so pervertish. Like, I just feel like a lot of Dahmer's, everything he did, like, that just reflect on the shit that his dad taught him. Like, think about the shit that his dad was saying. Like, you're teaching your son how to put a worm on a fishing pole, and you teach him, just imagine it's a girl worm. Like, really, you couldn't think of no other fucking metaphor. Okay, so Dahmer literally, like, disregards the whole comments about pretending it's a female worm, and I guess this was the writer's way of showing that Dahmer is not into women, like, at all. So the dad, it's like he picks it up, but then he kind of don't, because he tries again. So this time he asks him, like, Jeffrey, you dating any girls? Like, what's up with that? Once again, Jeffrey completely blows him off. He don't want to hear about girls. Jeffrey Dahmer does not like women, and his father is just now learning this. Okay, so the dad tries again, and I know my scenery changed, y'all. I'm in the car, but let me tell y'all, we in the middle of a hurricane, and I have to do this video because I promised y'all 10 days of Dahmer, and it's like 5 million kids in my house, so I had to come outside. But anyways, okay, so Jeffrey Dahmer, his dad tries again. Y'all know his dad is trying to figure out what's going on with him. So this time he just absolutely asks him, is there any girls you like at school? Like, what's going on with that? I know inside Jeffrey's mind, he like, Dad, I don't fucking like coochie. Like, he is not into girls, and his dad just needs to accept that, but he can't accept that for some reason. So he just keep trying to, get him to say it. It's like in the back of his mind, he knows what's really going on, but he just want his son to say it. And the next scene that we go into just confirms exactly what I was just saying. And it kind of seems like Jeffrey is not into women for sure. We know that. And in the back of our mind, he targeted gay men, so we think he's into gay men. But the next scene we go into is Jeffrey trying to get his rocks off, and he's looking at a woman magazine, and he can't get his rocks off. So he started thinking about shit. But then he starts thinking about the fish that he dismembered that day. So he starts vividly imagining the guts of this fish, the hearts of this fish, the blood that was in this fish. And he nuts. I'm sorry to be so, so straightforward, but let's be real. He nutted off of the images in his mind of a fish. It's disturbing. It's Jeffrey Dahmer. So, like I said, this scene we learn, that the wife is a loony. Jeff's mother was a fucking lunatic. Like, he's interrupted before he got his rocks off, before all his kids was in his hands. He was interrupted by his mother and his father arguing, and this is literally where I learned, at least, that the wife is a lunatic. The mom was fucking crazy. She was out of her mind. All of those pills she was taking, she was a lunatic. She was a nut. So then we go to science class, and this is where we learn I'm not gonna say where we learned, because we already know Jeff is a lunatic. We already know he's into dissecting things. So how ironically today in class they are dissecting something. You know, okay, so they're dissecting something that's not a frog. You know, 6th grade science class, high school science class, we never did this in class. We never dissected a damn thing, okay? Not in my age. I don't know if other ages did that, but we never did that. Anyways, they're dissecting something, and it's obviously bigger than the frog. It's obviously not just a frog. So Jeff Dahmer, he's like stupid excited about it. He's seriously excited about dissecting whatever the hell kind of animal this is. So he ends up telling this girl off, like, can you shut the fuck up and let's do this. Instantly, Dahmer rips the heart out of whatever this animal is. He even asked the teacher, can I take one home to practice? So weirdly, the teacher's like, yeah, sure. And whatever animal that was, the teacher gave him one to take home to practice. You know, it's not like they was about to have a midterm on this. It's not like this was, if you don't know how to dissect the frog or dissect or whatever the fuck that was, then you can't hang with us. You know, you can't go to the next grade. You can't graduate. It wasn't one of those situations. Jeff just wanted to take one home, and the teacher allowed him to do it. Nobody looked at it as, okay, well, this kid obviously had fun dissecting this. So anyways, he ended up asking the high school jock, like, yo, you want to come to my house and practice with me? The high school jock is like, no, the fuck? Like, who the fuck asks that? Not only are you too weird for me to come home and study with, but to ask me to come to your crib and dissect a fucking animal. Okay, y'all, then we go into a whole nother scene. This is where that flip-flopping shit comes into play. Okay, so Jeff, this is where we learn that they are in court, the mother and father, and Jeff's mother is awarded custody of Jeff and his brother. But Jeff is like, he don't want to leave his father. Like, he's this strange and weird ass infatuation he had with his dad kind of blew me. But that went over a lot of heads, obviously even the writer, you know, because he was obsessed with his dad. It's the reason the man was obsessed with his dad. So anyways, Jeff don't want to go with his mother, and he makes that very clear. And the mother also makes it clear at this point, she don't want Jeff to come with her anyway. She's taking the little brother and she's gone. So this part took me the fuck out. This part was hilarious. So Jeff is like, fine, just take my brother and go chase UFOs. Mama said, they're real. So this was another part. Obviously distressed by his mother and father splitting up, and you know, his brother leaving, Jeffrey goes into like this drunken like place, like, you know, this sunken place when you don't want to think about nothing, you just want to be drunk and you just want to think and you just want to vibe. So he get into one of those vibes, right? And this part was also funny. It's a lot of parts of this movie that was just fucking hilarious. So Jeffrey he gets drunk, right, and he's at his place or whatever. So Jeffrey starts playing with himself. Like, one point he was smacking his ass. One point he put his little pee-pee in a bottle, like, and then he was just jigging. The man was jigging. I ain't gonna lie, he was fucking it up. He was the whole vibe. When I tell y'all that man was jigging, he was really fucking jigging. Jeffrey had the moves, period. We can't deny that. All right, so going to and from home, he kept seeing his jogger, right? And it kept taking us to the time where he just kept seeing this jogger just jogging, right? And the jogger's looking at him, Jeffrey's looking at him, he smiled every time. Jeffrey's like, and Jeffrey had already know what he was thinking, you could tell. The writer and the producer did an awesome job at like at portraying what he was thinking. Like, he's probably thinking, yeah, he like me. Okay, so anyway, Jeffrey start working out or whatever, I guess, so he can start jogging. So he runs into the man, and he somehow, I don't understand how Jeffrey keep getting these men to his house. Like, I swear, he better not have had no kidnapping charges, because he never kidnapped nobody. Every single last one of his victims voluntarily went to his house. Y'all gotta remember, this was back in the 1970s, 1980s, 90s. I don't really remember it, but y'all gotta remember, this was way back in the day. He would have never got away with that shit this day and age. Anyways, he got these folks to his house. So we go into a scene where Jeffrey is plotting on the jogger, and he's wondering how the fuck can he get this man back to his house. In Jeffrey's head, he's like, okay, if I beat his ass with a bat, you know, pop out with a bat, I can just beat him up and get him back to my crib. So we go into this scene that's kind of trippy. You know, you got to really pay attention. You got to watch it a few times, because I had to watch this episode a few times to understand this part. Jeffrey was thinking about hopping out with a bat and just beating the man ass, you know, knock him unconscious with the bat and taking him back to his house. So that part obviously never happened. He never had to do all of that. It was easier to just talk to the man and somehow talk him into coming back to his apartment. Okay, so then boom, we switched to a whole nother scene. Okay, and this is the part where his trippy ass mama, I think her name was Joyce, this is the part where we get to her and she's back in. Okay, so in this scene, we just bounce back into his mother, Joyce, and she goes back to the mental asylum that she was actually in. She goes to the fucking asylum that she was in. She was in this asylum, and they offer her a paid position to, I forgot what the fucking position was, but they offer her a paid position at the mental asylum that she was in. And this part is kind of trippy because, I'm sorry, you were a patient here. You can never work here. You're not mentally fucking stable. But obviously, they needed help. Somebody quit, blah, blah, blah. They offered Joyce a position. Joyce is delighted. She's enlightened. Hell yeah, you know. Then we bounce back. Again, another time lapse. This is what I hate about what the writer of this fucking movie did. Just all these time lapse. So we go back to Jeffrey going to school, okay? This is around the hitchhiker scene, okay? So, Jeffrey goes to school, and Dahmer pulls a Dahmer. This part was so funny to me, because Dahmer, goes to school, and he just goes to school, and he just pops open a beer. Teacher's like, Jeff, is that a beer? Jeff opens up that beer and takes a motherfucking sip, okay? He got kicked out of class, needless to say. Of course he did. So we go back to the scene with the hitchhiker, right? Jeffrey, goddamn, I can't talk. Jeffrey gets this hitchhiker back to his house, okay? He gets the man back to his house. I don't know how. He just does. Okay, so this part was fucking weird, bruh. It was weird as hell. Okay, so he get the hitchhiker back to his house, and the hitchhiker is like, Jeffrey literally offered the man a ride. That's how, sorry about the previous, you know, but that's how he got him to his house. He offered him a ride to wherever he was going. So, okay. This part was like real trippy because the man kept saying, I just want to ride. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey's like, don't be rude. Gosh. Y'all know in his little nonchalant voice, why don't you just have a drink? Why don't you just have this? Why don't I just make you a coffee? Why don't you just sit down? The man is like, no. Like, I'm ready to go. I have to be here by this amount of time. Take me where I need to go, or I'm getting the fuck up out of here. In my head, I'm just thinking like, bro, leave. Why are you still there? This man obviously don't want to take you where you need to go. Why are you still there? But I guess back in that time, it was just, okay, so Jeffrey's fed up at this point, and he tries to kiss the man. He offers him a drink. He tries to kiss him. The man is like, yo, wipe his lips or whatever. And the man is like, what the fuck? Are you serious? What are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? That was the man cue in my head. I'm like, yo, this man just tried to fucking kiss you. Leave. Find another ride. It's other people that's gonna come along this highway that will gladly take you where you need to go. Why? You don't need this ride that bad. That's my thing. But the man stayed just like, okay, I just need a ride, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, at this point, Jeffrey know he want to leave. Jeffrey understands that, you know, this man is not gay, so ain't no way out of this but to knock this man out. So the man tried to turn his head. Jeffrey knocks the man out. Knock him out. He just knocked the fucking man out. So the man is unconscious at this point, and now his life is in the sake of Jeffrey Dahmer. So Jeffrey kills him, and he's freaking out. Like, he hides his body under the house, right? And he starts to freak out because he starts like having these hallucinations, you know. He starts hallucinating. Now he's wondering like, okay, I hid him under the house, but what the fuck if somebody come and find him? What if somebody come and find this man, you know? So he goes and get the man from under the house, and he's trying to wake him up at this point. Jeffrey is trying to get this man up. He obviously do not want this man to die, okay? And this goes back, well, I'm gonna say my opinions to the end because I got a lot to say, But obviously, Jeffrey did not want this man to die, y'all. He didn't. So he's trying to wake him up. The man is not waking up. Jeffrey's mad now. Like, why are you not waking up? So this part was kind of confusing because I didn't really know where his dad was at this point, or his mom had left him. His mom wanted nothing to do with him. His mother, like, both of his parents was to blame in this. Let's talk about it for a second, because his dad was obviously fucking crazy. And later on in the episode, y'all are gonna learn, spoiler alert, you can mute this part if you need to. I'll give you a second. Spoiler alert, his dad was into the same, he had the same things going on in his mind that Jeffrey had. He wanted to know what human's body looked like, you know, fucking mutated, fucking, like, you know, but he just never acted on it. I guess he didn't have the balls that Jeffrey had. Okay, so anyways, his mother was not a part of his life, like, at all. She left and she never came back. She did not fuck with Jeffrey at all. She knew Jeffrey Dahmer was gonna be a Dahmer. So this man's body, Jeffrey takes and he chops up into pieces. You know, like, typical serial killer shit. And then he put them into trash bags. Again, typical serial killer shit. So he is driving along the road or whatever. I don't know where he's going at this point, because episode 3 is about to end. We don't know where Dahmer is going. He put him in trash bags, get in the car. He stopped by these bullet head dumbass Milwaukee. I'm sorry, but every officer during the Dahmer time in fucking Milwaukee, Wisconsin, need to be fired. I don't understand how this was never a thing. Them officers need to turn in their badges. I'm sorry, but I'm better than them. Anyways, Dahmer gets stopped. Guess what? He got a whole fucking body dismembered in some trash bags in the back seat. Not even in the trunk. He's not even trying to hide. So the officers asked him about the bags in the back, and Jeffrey just says, you know, I like pork chops. My family know I like pork chops, so they sent me a bunch of meat. Typical fucking Dahmer shit. And you think they checked it? No, because why would they, right? It's not like it's a fucking dismembered body back there. So anyway, Jeffrey gets away scot-free, and that is how episode 3 ends. He just goes home and he starts cleaning up, getting rid of evidence, because he's scared at this point. And that's the end of episode 3. So that wraps up day 3 of the 10 Days of Dahmer. Meet me right back here for episode 4 tomorrow. Bye.